For all your t-shirt needs, check out TeePublic's Killer Selection. Follow the link in the description. Hey, what's up, people? Pizzal here, and today I want to talk to you guys about the documentary To Hell and Back, the KANE HODDER story. And before I get into the specifics of the documentary, I really want to talk about the things that I loved about To Hell and Back, the story of KANE HODDER, the most. And it's not necessarily the celebrity interviews in which they talk about what a great Jason Voorhees KANE HODDER was, or what a great actor KANE HODDER is in his post-Jason Voorhees, being covered from head to toe in makeup and prosthetics acting career. Because if you are like me, the kind of person who's going to buy and watch this documentary, you already know those things. In your mind, KANE HODDER is the definitive Jason Voorhees, as he is in my mind. If you've seen his acting work post-Jason Voorhees, then you know he's not a bad actor at all. The things that I really loved about this documentary were discovering things about KANE HODDER that I had no idea about before, such as the fact that he grew up on a military base, or the fact that he encountered some severe bullying as a young man, including an incident in which a bully puked into a bag and then the next day poured the puke onto KANE HODDER's face. We also learned the true story behind how he sustained all those burns over his body, because for many years he was so ashamed of the true story behind how he sustained those burns that he just told people that it happened on a movie set, that it was just a stunt gone wrong. And we also learn about the 6-month, just grueling, extremely painful recovery process that he went through after getting those burns, and how at one point he was absolutely suicidal. And I loved the words of encouragement that he gives to anybody who may be in that state of mind today, feeling like, there is no hope for tomorrow. I just loved his overall, how candid he was, how brutally honest he was, and how open he was emotionally in this documentary, in telling his story. And it really added a depth to KANE HODDER. It really humanized KANE HODDER. If you've met KANE HODDER at a convention, you know the first thing he does is just practically choke the life out of you. But then when you talk to him, you realize that he is very, very fan-friendly and very, very nice and very friendly. But this documentary really just kind of opened him up and really opened him up to as I said, in a very emotional and candid and brutally honest kind of way that I really appreciated. And it really gave me a lot more, it made me really respect KANE HODDER, the man, not just the actor, not just the Jason Voorhees performer, the man. So those are the things that I really, really loved about this documentary, and that's why I so highly recommend this documentary if you are a fan of KANE HODDER, or if you're a fan of the Friday the 13th series, I think, just in general, because KANE HODDER has been such an outspoken ambassador for the Friday the 13th series, even in the very lean years where fans of Friday the 13th have not had a whole lot to really hold on to. He's been that one constant, ambassador out there waving the flag of Friday the 13th. I definitely recommend this documentary. This was a great documentary. I absolutely recommend it. The documentary includes interviews with, of course, KANE HODDER, but also Robert Englund, Cassandra Peterson, Adam Green, Bruce Campbell, Jean-Carl Beekler, Sean Cunningham, Zach Galligan, Danielle Harris, Sid Haig, Bill Moseley, Adam Rifkin, Felissa Rose, Ted White, and many, many others, family members, friends, and collaborators. Kane Hodder discusses his childhood growing up on a military base, being a bit of a fearless hellraiser. He tells a story about, at one point, to kind of impress his friends, he was standing... It involves a ledge on like the 30-something floor of a building in which he was hanging off the ledge, and just, I like when he was describing that sequence or describing that memory with footage from the actual scene. I like had to close my eyes because I was like traumatized. Hodder discusses being severely bullied as a kid, and one instance in which he was beaten very badly, and another instance in which a kid had puked in a bag and then poured the puke on his face. My goodness. He discusses getting cast as an extra in a film while in college, and how that implanted the seed of wanting to be in show business within him, and how that led him to doing stunts and eventually playing Jason Voorhees. Hodder discusses his approach to playing Jason and how he made it his own. Hodder tells the true story behind how he sustained the burns over his body, and it includes some pictures of the actual incident, which was pretty interesting. Hodder discusses the grueling 6 months of recovery that he endured without pain medication, and the complications that arose due to the incompetence of the medical staff that initially treated him. Kane sits down with the reputable doctor that actually saved his life and offered him a very, very heartfelt thank you. Hodder discusses talking with Wes Craven back in 1983 about actually playing Freddy Krueger, because Kane already had the burn scars. He didn't need the makeup, but of course, as we all know, Robert Englund ended up playing Freddy Krueger. Hodder discusses the Freddy vs. Jason controversy and how devastated he was to have not played Jason in that film. Green, Beekler, Galligan, Harris, and Hodder discuss the Hatchet films and Hodder's portrayal of Victor Crowley. Peterson and Galligan discuss being choked by Kane and how much people love being choked by him at conventions. If you've met Kane Hodder at a convention, as I have, I'm sure you've been choked by him, and it's an experience. Kane and others discuss life after Jason, including his acting work out of makeup in movies like Monster, Ed Gein, BTK, and Death House. I highly recommend to hell and back the story of Kane Hodder. If you're a fan of Kane Hodder, or if you're a fan of Friday the 13th or of the Hatchet films, I highly, highly recommend it. As I said, I loved the candid nature in which Kane Hodder really opened himself up in this documentary, and I learned a lot about him that made me really respect the man, not just the performer, not just, the guy who played Jason, but Kane Hodder, the man. I'll put a link to Epic Films, the distributor of the documentary, down in the description. Go over and check them out. If you've seen To Hell and Back, please let me know your thoughts on it down in the comments section below. If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up. If you're not following me on social media, those links are in the description. They're also right around here. As always, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, and until next time, peace. Join the $1 a Month Club and help support my channel on Patreon. Thank you to my current patrons: Kevin Smythe, Orc145626, B-Movie Mike, Robert Sobel, Turi Delamore, Stephen Flanagan, Lori Holt, Mitch Odell, Farron Sutton, Craig Farrand, Jeremiah Lambert, Grindhouse Grotto, Joseph Charlesworth, PB Sam 6, Derek Jana, Demon Waffles, Tim Williams, Stone Gassman, Zachary Barton, Mr. Bibby 86, James Welch, Eli Geisler, Jeff Overing, and Cliff Hostetter. Say hello to the internet, Jeremy.
Hello to the internet.